just for traction purposes, I suppose. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
I'd like to get it over to YouTube. It'll be on YouTube, but this is just a good place really kind of to start. Because I know you have a lot of friends there, which is really cool. So, dude, oh my gosh, I was looking back through all of our stuff. I was looking at your pictures. I was just checking out like we spoke in March. And
March?
Yeah, wow. It was March. I know. I thought it was later than that, but I looked back at it today and it was like March of 21.
I wasn't sure. I wanted to look too because I was like, what have I done? What can I talk about?
What have I done? Well, I checked it out. So
it's a blur. I'm like, I don't remember this morning. So help me out here, Joel.
No, dude, seriously, the blog looks great.
Having me back, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't even introduce you because a lot of people watched your show last time, but Katie Ehrhart, Redmond, and Mom Champ, Katie Mom Champ, but like mom blogger. I put mom blogger, kickboxer, wife, friend, and now coach.
Yeah, personal trainer, and then content creator.
Well, yeah, there's all those things. But the other, I don't know. The other ones have heart behind them, and those are just like, yeah, we're all kind of content creators. I'm not taking anything from you by that. I'm just being like, but I have to admit, you're writing. I read some of your blogs. I love the one about Olivia I want to talk about. I thought that one was really cool.
Thank you, yeah.
But just the fact that like you got the picture. See, this is what I want to share with people real quick is like if you check out your blog, what is the blog website, by the way? Is it Katie Mom Champ?
Yeah, at katiemomchamp.com. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I went in there, and since the last time I looked at it, man, it's got a lot of pictures. It's like cohesive. It's running down. I'm like, man, she's been putting in work and like putting in content, just like you say. And it's awesome to see. Because it's not easy and a lot of people don't put the work in, and I'm guilty of that a lot of times. But
yeah, I know, I was on it for so long, and then I kind of went over to Instagram and kind of been doing a lot of my business on there too. So it's hard, like it's hard behind the scenes. People don't realize how much it is involved with getting it all out there and like, producing and everything else.
So share that. Okay, look, you're starting this new business, which I want to hear about. I also want to hear about the win, which is awesome because that was in July, I think, or at least that's when the pictures were. Well, let's talk about the win. So we talked in March. You had this fight coming. I know.
Come on, Joel. You won't care this.
I was like, by the seat of my pants over here.
I don't even know why I don't have it down here. Gosh, what was I thinking?
No, you know what? Because that's the type of person you are.
Yeah, I know. I have it hanging. I'm like, I know. I do want to get it. Like, it has to be mounted.
Did you do like probably not, but like, did you wear it in public or anything like that? That's a little like silly, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I know Phil Mickelson won the green jacket to like Krispy Kreme or something. So,
I mean, I'm shocked. I'm shocked I've actually taken it off, but like the night of, I wore it to dinner and then I wore it to breakfast the next day. But
all right. Well, here's how I wanted to maybe talk about it. I'm going to share my screen and let's see. Can you see it?
I see you.
Did you just see me? Let's try again. All right. What I want. That's not the one. Yeah, we'll try this picture, except I'm not ready, but this picture right here. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah. That one is actually a couple years ago. I won a boxing belt. So that's not the July one.
Yeah, but so this was like a first one or no? I was trying to see like, was this like a first one or what was this?
Yeah, this one was, we went to Atlanta and it was a girls tournament and this was for a belt. Yeah, that was my first belt that I won. And I think that was right before COVID happened because I was like, something bad's going to happen because like it's too good.
Yeah, right.
That was in February and then March, April, like shut down. So it was like, okay, yeah, that's it. But yeah, that was right before COVID that I won that belt. Yeah, for boxing. Right. That's the one. Yeah. That one before that was a boxing one. This one was something I'd been wanting to get since I was 20 and just has always been a regret in the back of my head. And my trainer knew it. And this was like end all be all. Every workout, every blood, sweat, tears came down to this belt and getting it was just like, there's no word. So that's an accomplishment.
So this is the IKF belt. Right. Yes. And so this was the one that you had in previous when you had gone through, you had like lost at that stage or like at that point in the IKF rounds. And so this was like a big, like coming back and like dominating time.
Yeah. And then I lost again when I came back and I were like, all right, he's like, you need to do this for you. I think we talked about this last time. Like, this is for you, aside from kids, this is something you have to fulfill. I'm like, I don't know, mold, that whole thing, whatever. And then we went and we fought, oh God, it was, I think 3 years ago when I first started. And then I lost again there. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was the only time I lost at this event. So, and then I did a couple fights prior to that. And then we went this past July. Yeah. And it just happened.
So like what? It just happened. She said, what's this? What's this picture right here? That
is just, like I said, blood, sweat, and tears. Just my team, the people that helped me, it just happened. It came together. And, prior to that, like after I fought in April before that. And then after that, I wound up with I broke my nose. My daughter broke her arm. I had black eyes and I had a blood clot, and they're like, your blood clot's back from COVID, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Well, this was in June, I'm like, I have a fight in July. They're like,
in a month. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, this was beginning of June. And, we just sort of took it day by day. And we went, the final test was the week before the ultrasound. They're like, okay, we're going to clear you to get off blood thinners for that weekend. You know what I mean? They knew. I know. For Joe, like thinking back on it, I'm like, what was I thinking?
You're like, sweet, I got a window.
I'm like, yeah, like, let's hope I don't die. Okay, cool. I'm surprised my doctors okayed it, But that was literally, I was training with one leg. We were just boxing. It was just crazy. It was crazy. So it was, even my trainer knew. They all knew what that meant to me. So I didn't even have to say it.
Wow. And because, well, you made a differentiation because this was Muay Thai, this belt.
This was kickboxing.
Because it had like a Muay Thai on front of it.
Yes, it's Muay Thai, and kickboxing, but it's International Kickboxing Federation. But they do have both. But it was just like, I just did the kickboxing. So
I was like, damn, Muay Thai, this girl, what the hell did she do?
I've always wanted to, but it's late in the game. I'm like, I don't want to learn new tricks. So let's just stick with what I know.
Yeah. So how do you feel about, so a couple of things, like I was talking about business. I got some other questions for you, but you're like moving into this, you've been a trainer and you have the diet, you got a bunch of the certifications. Like that's something you've been doing for a while. You're really good with people, obviously, just being behind the chair, as you like to put it. And that's another skill, right? Just like hanging with people. Yeah. So what's up with the business? Do you feel comfortable in that space? I get a sense that you feel, even though you're not an imposter, I feel like a little bit of this imposter syndrome coming through the camera. Just one time when I looked, I'm like, I hope she owns it because she is it. But like, how do you because we all struggle with that kind of, you know what I mean? Like we're switching things and we want to be the expert, but like we doubt ourselves or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like right before this, I have a client online, a few of them, and I just trained them. And so I was like, can't really like work out with you too much. You got to do a podcast. Yeah. I mean, it's like embedded in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very confident. Like I'm trying, it's hard to portray that to people in a post, like, oh, come train with me. I know what I'm saying. But like, it is my heart and soul. You know what I mean? I've done it for so long. I've been trained. I'm still a student, just years and years of personal training prior. And I'm like, I just want to bring it online now. I think it'd be great because people, it's a different world, it's a different world, completely different than when I first started training back, 20, or I think it's been like 15 years now that I've had my training certificate. Yeah. And I've always kept it up and just always done it, and have taught people their.
You've been in the space for a while, but so you've seen a slower transition, but I'd still sometimes like there's a mental block for me on how many people would actually do online training. I mean, they seem to be open to it, or how is that? It's a good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so when I was doing the consultations with a couple of people, they're like, well, online, I'm like, listen, we've been popping Jane Fonda in our video recorder since like the 70s. So you're watching the video online, right? So like you have all these videos. I was a P90X fan for like so many years and it did the job. I mean, I haven't stepped foot in a gym in like, since I had my son, who's 9 years ago, And I'm like, you've been watching these videos and I'm like, I'm actually there in front of you. And the thing that convinced me the most was when we were going through COVID and I did have to keep training for my fights. My trainer does, and he still does it. It's like online, and he does it, the Zoom, and it works. I'm like, okay, like this is good. And
that's awesome.
Don't have time. And I'm like, you just pop it in and there I am. And I'm physically there in your face. You know what I mean? So it's like no different than a video, but you're like paying me for my expertise. You can ask me questions. I'm sitting there correcting your form. I can do it. Like, I'm very confident in that.
let's say I was going to do with that with somebody at home, like what do you see people have? Are they just using their computers? Are they using their phones? Are they setting up like, because you know what I mean? Are they working out while you're talking to them? Just some insight. Cause I'm not sure how it all works out.
Do you just want me to train you right now, Joe?
No, I'm not ready for that, but that would be awesome. I actually think about that.
Let's
We
just
should
do
do
it.
something.
No,
You know?
it's like this. It's like Zoom, you know, and I'm doing some of the workouts with them, and some I'm just looking and I'm like, okay, like if they're doing a lunge, I'm like, don't let your knee go over your, you know, I'm talking as they're working out, and then I'll jump in and I'll do a couple, and then I'll go back and look at their form, and then I'll do a couple. It's basically, honestly, it's like, I feel like it's really no different than being in the gym, because I'm just so myself, and you know, I'm like sitting there yelling into the screen. I'm like, get up,
come on, right?
strong, you know?
So you just tailor around whatever they have at their place. Like, hey, what are you working with? Let's have a good call. Let's see what you got. Let's talk about what's, that's awesome.
Like, we don't have a lot of equipment. I'm like, all you actually need, if they came down to it, is your body. And I know everybody's body's different. I know everybody trains differently, but like, I spent hours and hours and hours at the gym. And then after I had my son, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start doing stuff here. I don't know. I have such a better workout just doing what I'm doing, working the whole body. Interval training is my specialty. Kickboxing is my specialty. You know, you could do, and I could do it. You know, I did a couple ladies through my group, my Instagram group. You know, I trained them and did some classes, and they loved it. They followed along, and it just works.
What's the better platform for you, Instagram or Facebook? Because that's like a thing. And I see you said on one of your posts, and I've done this too, like, oh, hey, I posted it over here, but I just wanted to share because it's important to me. Because at one point you're like, how many times do I have to post? It's everywhere. Like, I know I want the reach, but also like, there's a little vanity if I'm posting it everywhere.
No, I know. And I'm like,
here.
Well, exactly. Like, I go through that because I'm like, should I even post it to my personal thing on Facebook? But I'm like, but I want to reach out to my friends and family, because I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't exactly like, I want to look like, hey, look at me, like, come join me. But I'm like, but I, at the same time, truly want to see if I can help people, you know what I mean? And help them. And I want them to know about that. But I believe me, I don't know the answer to that, but the thought crosses my mind often.
I know.
The biggest platform on is Instagram. I'm comfortable there. I think people know what I do. My friends and family know that I'm, you know, into fitness, but I don't want to sit there in their faces either, you know? So it's hard for call of, right. You want the reach, but you don't want to be like overboard, be like, oh God.
Because you want to do it tastefully, because you know, you respect like the ask to your friends. Like, I've done a lot of things, but I never wanted to ask my friends for help on any like project or anything, because I was like, maybe one day I'll really need help, and then that's when I'll need help. Like, this is just whatever type of stuff. But no, it's interesting, you know, through your friends like that, and but actually, it's the fun part about it is when you reconnect like we did with somebody random almost, and just be like, oh my God, this person popped into my life, and now we have this relationship that, like, you know what I mean? It's so cool.
Yeah.
So I bet people from your town, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say, I think it's how you do, like, people have a different perspective of like, okay, they could take it in a positive way, like you did, and be like, hey, that's awesome. We can join up together or whatever. People are like, it's just, I think, how they look at it. And I think you're like that too. Like, you're in tune with how that's going to affect people or reach them, you know, without just being like me.
That's so true. Right. It's about accountability, man. If you have somebody, I just like been meeting with somebody on these Thursdays to try to do like a show or whatever. And just the fact that you have somebody, it doesn't matter if you're writing, if you're working out, if you're praying, if you're going to church, whatever it is, like, but it's nice to have a buddy.
Yes, exactly. That's what my client was saying too. He's like, you know, just, you know, you could do it at home, or you could go to the gym, but like knowing that I'm here.
Yeah. Dude, that's so cool.
It is so important. It's so true. It's like the group of my kickboxing gym too, you know, like they hold me accountable. They expect me to show up, and I'm like, it's at night, it's late. And I'm like, as driven as I am, I'm like, oh, it's cold, you know, but then I'm like, where were you? I'm like, and then I beat myself up. It's not worth it. So I'm like, yeah, you hold someone accountable and they know they got to show up. They feel good about it. And it's like, okay, cool. You know?
Yeah, man, that's really cool. I love it. I'm excited for you. When I saw you put that out there, I was like, hell yeah. All right. So, but I didn't see any other links. I only saw the thing where you had like, hey, call me, and you put your phone number out there, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
You know, that you just bounced that, you know, but that's all right. Like, I like it. It's like, I think too many people struggle with trying to put tech pieces in front, and it's just like, here's a way you can reach out. I'm building it in the,
I
you
think
know.
people get nervous about that too, right? It's like kind of sketchy. You're like, okay, really? But I'm in the process. Actually, I'm taking a full-time class in by this lady called Gwen Lane, and she is a like top-notch, you know, digital marketing, you know. So I'm in the process. Within the next year, I will have a package deal, you know what I mean? But I'm like, why am I going to wait to offer this to somebody that might need it now before the holidays, or like someone I can do one-on-one? And that becomes more like personal, you know what I mean? It's a more personal connection right now versus like, here's the link, go sign up on my, you know, my website and check out, you're going to get email. Like right now it's so personal that I'm like, I would think of it, you know what I mean? One-on-one, like through conversation a lot. And it's just, that's the only way to communicate versus like, okay, like here's my, you know, overall thing, and this is, I'm not going to be able to answer you back. And so
No, it's true. In reality, they're getting a steal right now. You know, I say that about my wife too. Like she, you know, is a lawyer and she's got a few years of experience, but she's really sharp, and they throw her all these cases. And I'm just like, she's like, I'm, you know, biding my time to make, you know, kind of a deal when the time is right. And she knows like they're getting a deal right now, and then they're going to, you know, type of thing, which is cool because you have the experience, which is awesome. That's really awesome. What's it called?
I mean, I'm going to call the program 12 rounds.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And then I got my daughter. I don't know if you saw, my daughter is, she's very into the martial arts. She's very into Taekwondo, very into kickboxing. I mean, I got my teammate named her Killer Bee. So she's like, Mom, we should do a Killer Bees kids kickboxing class online. I'm like, sign me up. I'm like, that's amazing.
Brilliant.
December, parents have a hard time with the kids being home. I'm like, it's great. And I've done this before at my son's school. And I'm like, and it's for parents and their sons or daughters. Yeah. I'm like, so I'm like, that's another thing we can do online. You know, she's my little sidekick. So that's
no pun intended.
Actually, I'm her sidekick. She's like, it's my show. I'm like, okay. So we just launched that yesterday, actually, but same thing, you know, so slowly it's like, you know, I got these ideas and I'm only going to put out a couple things so I can get it all together, because then I'll be like way over like all over the place. So
no, I've been in that realm. It's nice that you're just going though. Like you're just like, hey, let's go. Because my son wants to start a channel and we've kind of been filming some things. Yeah. And it's like, it's better to just start going with that. Otherwise you kind of lose that spark. And I love that. Like she had the idea. Yeah. When you're sitting there with your child and they come up with like kind of a cool idea, you're like, yes, let's do that.
Totally. I'm like, why didn't I think about that?
I know. It's brilliant.
But it is, you know, the lady that I'm learning from, she's a great mentor. She's all about mindset. And I love that stuff. I feed right into it. I think it's so strong. I think your mindset and your belief is just huge. And she's like, some people get so caught up in like the perfection of it. Like you said, like the website, the person, you know, here, you get so caught up in that you never make the move. You get stuck in that, you know, like that's stuck in that, like, let's keep building it. And let's
create the thing, got to create the email now response. Now I got to do the follow-up, then the lead magnet and the blah, blah, blah. And you're like,
so much. Yeah. And you never get to the point where you're actually doing what you love.
You're like, maybe I should do a webinar. Then you go down the webinar rabbit hole and you're like, dude, nothing's ever getting launched.
Nothing's ever happening. Exactly. Yeah. She's like, you have a one-on-one thing you can launch tomorrow. She's like, I want you to do it. And I was like, are you sure? She's like, yes, I'm sure. And then you build from that. You get testimonies and da-da-da. So I'm like, okay. And right away, you know, I've had a couple people ask and I was like, oh, okay.
Good for you. Awesome. That's awesome. Dude, that's so cool. What, a couple quick questions for you. I may have asked you last time, but I don't recall. Favorite fighter? Who's your favorite fighter?
Why am I, Tiffany Timebomb. She's a,
Timebomb.
Yeah, she's a glory fighter. She's out of it's not like UFC, but kind of a branch off that with just kickboxing. And I just kind of like love her style.
What's Glory Fighter? What is that, like a brand? Is that like a team? Is that like a? Yeah,
it's kind of like UFC, but it's called Glory.
So I got you.
Boxing. It's a kickboxing organization, pretty high up, you know, higher up. Yeah. And I went to go see her in November 2 years ago, but I don't know. I just like, you know, some people you just love to watch, and she's one of them for me.
That's really cool. Yeah, the way they move and stuff. It's just awesome. No, I love that. I love that. That's a good song too.
She calls it poetry in motion. Her movement.
So she loves it too.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Favorite quote right now? Anything popping up to you that you wrote down that you?
Yeah, faith over fear. It's been a big one for me.
Over fear. Mm-hmm. I could see a lot of that with you. You write about very like topics that you're feeling. When I looked up and down your blog and I picked a few to read, it was like, these are all real. Like you were like, why I hate to run this hill. It's boring. And you're like sitting on the thing. And I'm like, I was actually out for a walk when I looked at one of those and I was like, I didn't want to be out there. I was going to go for a run. I remember specifically. And I was like, I don't want to do this run. I know exactly what you mean. So I was like, I connected with a lot of that stuff, you know, and the stepmom stuff I thought was really cool and really just like a topic that some could say, yes, you're a mom, but like, you know, isn't in the fighting theme, isn't in the food thing, and isn't in that, but it was like real. And that's what I think that's what I appreciate about it.
Thank you.
I liked those a lot.
I try. There's a lot of people that you kind of look at their lives and they're like, you get kind of caught up with being in like Instagram influencer or whatever, but see perfect houses, perfect families, perfect. And I'm kind of like rebelling. I'm like, I can't. I don't want to be perfect. I don't want people to think my house is perfect. I just not.
I want like less stuff and I want less, and I want it to be poignant though. Like I want it to be valuable and I want it to be quality. Meaningful. Yeah. Right. What song are you jamming to right now? What song that you got that you just went out to, or maybe you had playing in your last workout or something?
Oh God. You know, my son was really into, you could probably appreciate this because you're old.
Touche.
But he is really into football. And my husband and I were just talking about the movie, The Program. I don't know if you remember that. It's like an old one, right? And the Bo Dean's Good Things. Was in there. And I was like, I forgot how much I love this song. So for some reason, I've just been playing it.
The Bo Dean's. Yeah. That reminds me of, I can't like think of the song, but it reminds me for some reason, the Indigo Girls pop in my head.
Yeah.
Bo Dean's and like all that stuff. That's awesome. I'm going to look that up tonight when I get off because I got some.
It's just a good song.
Just a good song.
I got to follow this again. Yeah.
That's cool. So I didn't want to ask about like goal because I didn't want to be like, hey, what's next? What's next? But like you got the business thing, but like the fighting thing, what's the goal on the fighting, like your personal fighting as opposed to coaching?
My fighting. Well, because I had my blood clot, I signed up for a master's division, which is 35 and older on my birthday, which was August 28th. And I went out there and I went out with one of my teammates, Greg, and it was just kind of like not our weekend. We're out there and I just felt like the vibe was a little off, whatever, but it was my son's first football game and it was my birthday and I just went out by myself. So my husband stayed with the kids and it was fine. Like I've done that before. And, I didn't agree with the decision that was made, none of like my current trainers and stuff, but and like you say to yourself, you shouldn't have left it that close for it to be a deciding factor. You know what I mean? And so I wasn't on my game. So I lost and it's fine. Yeah. So, but it didn't take away from my win because that was what my heart was into. This was just like, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do IKF. So I signed up for one just to kind of like give the summer a close because I've been fighting continuously since, and then in January, April, July, and then, it's a lot, like, I'm old and I was like, just my body a little bit of a rest. I need to regroup. So I felt like I was a little burnt out from that, doing that one.
Yeah.
So my trainer wants to retire me, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I think maybe a little, I love it so much that masters is kind of like bigger gloves, shorter time, girls my age, you know what I mean? And I love it. I have a black eye from my training last night. So I'm like, I get more beat up in like my sparring session with these guys than I do in the ring. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Let the holidays go and see what happens in the new year and just kind of decide what, but I'm always training. I love it.
I got you. Well, speaking of hits, then what's the worst hit you ever took? Do you remember it? Not training, like in the ring, like competing.
Oh, in the ring?
Or do you not get touched when it comes to that? With that record, I don't know.
I get hits. Okay. Like I'm not light on my feet.
just take them.
To punch harder and try to the first IKF that I fought, I got knocked down by a spinning hook kick. So it knocked me down in the fight. So I probably said that was the worst of the worst.
Did it catch you or did it miss a little bit? Yeah. Oh, really?
It dropped me. Yeah. So I probably said that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's a big move. That's a big get kicked with one of those. It's a big, like, hello.
She was a lot shorter than me. It was like a whole thing. I was like,
oh, she was shorter than you too and caught you with that. That's a good kick.
Yeah. I watch it till this day and I'm like, damn it.
Oh, that's cool that you have film of that. Awesome.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
No, well, it's exciting to see. I wanted to say congratulations and ask about the business. I have going to follow in your footsteps a little bit. I got a personal training cert last year. been working on myself and figuring out what I even think of programming would be like. And so it was cool to hear like you putting it in place and like doing it. And I would say for anybody else that sees this, that has those dreams, like, you know, you would probably say, just push it out there. Right.
Oh,
Like,
man, keep doing it. Yeah. Wait, what did you get certified in?
It was ISSA, just, personal training.
Oh, a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Personal trainer.
You're always out there like running at 4 a.m. I'm like, oh God, I'm like in
I
bed.
love it. Oh, that's the best. I know, but I'm staying up.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that's rough for me now. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's getting into the cold now. So I just signed up for a Winter Warriors, which is accountability. It's Tuesday. So tonight, right after this, I'll have to go out. Tuesdays and Saturdays, you have to run at least a mile starting now. So 2 miles, I guess, every week, starting now all the way through the end of January.
It's awesome.
So like whenever, and it has to be outside, right? That's the whole thing. It has to be outside. So it's like, wow. I hate the cold. So this will be a good primer just to help me like battle that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which we all, should put ourselves in. I don't do the cold showers yet. I'm too much of a baby, but.
I know the ice bath thing. I'm like, I know it'd be amazing for like my joints and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I look into that Laird Hamilton. Joe Rogan had Laird Hamilton on, and he was talking all about the heat and how the heat is really the way to go.
My Roger was talking about that. Yeah, right. Yeah, the heat. I know.
For sure. Well, I guess what do they do? And I would like to say how they could get in touch with you for that was like ET phone home coming at me. We were just watching that the other day. What are they doing? How are they gonna call you? You want me to put your number in the show notes? Do you just want them to find you on Facebook? Like, how do you want them to find you? Because
my number,
you can help a ton of people out.
Yeah, my number, you could just message me directly. You can email me, I'm pretty quick at responding back, but yeah, that's the best way to do it right now until I can launch my, digital thing on my blog.
So cool. What do you think? That's probably like 6 months maybe? Cause that stuff is like, you got to put an hour in here and an hour. You're good with that, but it's still another thing to learn.
A year long. So she's like, you can't do it overnight. So it's just bits and coming together right now, and tons of notebooks because I'm such a paper and pen girl that I'm like,
too.
Oh, this idea. So I got tons of stuff.
I switched from notebooks to just note cards.
Oh,
because you can go front and back, and then they're manageable because I got loose leaf all over.
Oh, and then it rips out and you're like, oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh. My husband's like, you have notes of notebooks of notes. I might do a flashcard thing. That makes sense. It's more durable.
It's cool. And what I learned though, actually too, is then you can categorize them in like a little card if you needed to. And then you have your ideas kind of categorized. Oh, I'll send you a video on this guy. It's great. It's great.
That is a great idea.
Especially I'm unorganized.
And you're like, shit, where'd I put that? What notebook?
What notebook? Yeah. And then you're like, I've probably written that note 17 times because I'll write the same page of the same page.
Totally. I'm like, that's a great idea. I'm like, damn it, it's already written.
If I looked at a word cloud though, yeah, it was already written. It's like mine are always like dream, love. It's always about dreaming and loving. I'm like trying to go on some dream love escape. I don't know what I'm trying to do, but it's always, yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey, you rock. You're awesome. I love watching you. Your content's awesome. Your energy is awesome, and you're inspiring me. And I know a ton of people. So just congratulations. And maybe we will do some training. Let's do it.
Come on. Right. You do it. Yeah.
All right.
It'd be awesome.
Let's do it. How about some boxing? Maybe will you just do like some boxing basics?
Yes, that's what it is. Yep, okay. Exactly. The basic punches, kicks, like whatever. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's cool. Yep. Well, all right, miss. I appreciate the time. As always, I'll talk to you next time.
Bye.